Dude, I was thinking about this. Did you see Papa Smithy responding slash talking about like the Champions Queue thing? It
Nah.
was actually the weirdest take. It was like he's basically talking about like Reddit and stuff, flaming Danny and Fudge for not playing Champions Queue, and he was saying like we should be like celebrating and figuring out like what they do to get so good so fast, and like I just feel like it's such a
What?
weird, huh?
I said what? Like that's fucking
Yeah, I know.
troll.
I'm like, I don't really understand how you could have that opinion that like Danny and Fudge are like the pillars of an A, essentially, like to being so good so fast. It's more like a I'm bronze and I want to understand how to get good tactic. Because the thing with Champions Queue is that it's new and it's an unknown on like how good it can be, but it seems to be like the actual best practice for NA pros. And the thing is like you can't look at people that are currently decent in our region because of the fact that our results internationally have not been good. Like we consistently get one team out of groups, and then that team that gets out of groups is just like usually outclassed, like guaranteed L, like no real shot at the tournament win. And it's like something is needed to change this whole time, and like Champions Queue is our answer to this problem. But it's like if anyone's looking at Champions Queue anything but like our best solution, then they're fucking griefing.
Yeah. Like if pro players should be playing Champions Queue, 100%.
And
I don't think there's a really good reason for them not to.
Yeah, and it is rightful for the people that are actively avoiding Champions Queue as pros to be targeted for, you know, like why aren't they playing it? Like what is their, you know, quote unquote good reason for not playing it?
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't think there is a good reason.
No, I mean, I could understand not only playing Champion Queue, like also playing solo queue if you like, because there are things you'd want to practice in solo queue, and I definitely get not wanting to be on voice comms with your team all the time because there is definitely like an aspect of solo queue where you're just kind of like throwing on music, vibing out, like playing, not really wanting to fucking calm with your team. But apparently, like players are saying like people do that anyway in Champions Queue, and it doesn't seem to be a huge deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's really a good reason not to play it. Or like if you want to hide a pick, like if you want to play a champ that you haven't played before, I think that's totally fine to not do in Champion Queue. I would actually prefer if I was playing it, I wouldn't want someone first timing some shit on my team, but
yeah. But the thing is too, currently, people are playing Phil in Champions Queue. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh really?
Only LCS players are allowed to.
Oh really? I didn't know there's a rule around it. Okay.
There's a new rule. Only LCS players are allowed to fill except at like midnight when there's no games, and it's like then everyone's allowed to fill just to get a game started.
Makes sense. I like the adaptive
I would
rules.
definitely like filling. I think that'd be fun. But it would just be hard. Like I would like filling against other players filling, but I don't like if I filled against an LCS player, I would probably get my fudge packed quite nicely.
Yeah, I think Champions Queue in the beginning, people were taking it real seriously. It's like, oh my god, pro player versus pro player, like this matters so much. And then over time, it's supposed to be a replacement for solo queue. It's supposed to be better because you have the option to calm, because you have the you have the opportunity to play against like pro players if you're just an amateur or academy player. And obviously the game quality is gonna be higher, but I have no issues playing Champions Queue if my teammates want to try something new, if they just want to full mutes, deafen, and like just fucking vibe with the music. I don't give a fuck. The whole point of it is just that it's solo queue. It's a replacement for it. It's not supposed to be something else.
It's exactly how solo queue should be if comms were a thing in the game. Like people can opt into it if they want. It's just there. Like you can use it. You don't have to.
What percentage of people would you say use comms in Champs Queue?
90% of people use comms, and I think over time it should be something more like 50. I think you can if you want. If you see a team, if you see players that you like, that you have fun talking to, great. If you don't, it's not considered BM. But like right now, I always see my Twitch chat, like somebody just instantly leaves Discord or has everyone muted, deafened, and like, this guy's so fucking rude. Why even bother using Champions Queue if you're just gonna do this? It's like, dude, I have no idea. Maybe he's just is in like a horrible mood. He knows he's gonna be like,
Yeah.
he knows he's gonna just only say like negative shit or just be super moody. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
Because
I
you,
don't
you
know.
you can still practice. You can still play the
That's a
game even if
dozen
you're in a
for
bad
me.
mood.
I mean, 90% of the time, the only thing that people say can just be accomplished by pings.
Mhm.
Missing ping, on the way, question mark ping on your teammates. Boom. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting the way it's evolved. I think the main thing that makes it people feel like it's so much more serious than it is that there's money for the winners of it, for like the highest rated players.
Mm.
But
Yeah, that does promote trying hard, but I think
Yeah.
without that existing, then it becomes like a harder reason for people to play.
exactly, like it has to. I think it has to be there, so there's that extra incentive. But
I wonder if they could give you
Fortunate.
like benefits on your real league account for like accomplishments in Champions Queue, like rank 1 in Champions Queue, you get some shit in the regular client. That'd be cool.
Like a emote.
yeah,
Like a big eggplant emoji or something.
Oh.
Dude, fucking I feel like the entire world was talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. And I
yeah,
keep
I was
hearing
talking
about
that
it.
too.
He got
What was your
fucking
guys' initial impression?
See, what was
uh
our?
I thought it
Yeah.
was like funny, but also like what the fuck?
So actually, I might, but my first impression was such a bad take. As I read it in the very beginning, I was like, "Fuck yeah, Will Smith, you're such a badass, bro." Like my first reaction was like, "Yeah, I'd probably come and punch him too if someone made fun of Lena." And like,
Wow, you're
as I was
so
reading
alpha.
more and more takes, I was like, and then I actually watched the clip too, and I watched like like the minute leading up to it, and then him like coming up and like fucking striking him in the fucking head, and then after like reading Reddit comments and like random people's opinions for like 5 minutes, I was like, oh no, that was kind of a shit
Yeah,
take.
I had a wrong opinion until I read the most popular opinion, and then I switched my opinion to match that.
No. That's not.
I feel that. I feel that. I really just don't ever want to have an opinion that can make people think less of me, so I try to just take like the moral high ground opinion anytime I can. Whatever makes you look the best. I don't really care what the opinion is, as long as I look
fuck
good.
it. As long as I can virtue single.
That's
what matters.
literally why I'm here.
Christ.
Reddit truly is some of the most brilliant minds out there. These Will Smith's assets XD. I mean, no, it's just to me, it's just crazy that he could do that in front of in the middle of a fucking awards ceremony, and then an hour later get like a standing ovation and stuff, and like in front of everyone. That one's just totally crazy, man.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
stupid.
I don't know.
Crazy.
I guess I'm kind of the opinion that like it's not as big of a deal as some people make it out to be. Like I think Will Smith's a dumbass for it, but I don't know. Some people are acting like he fucking murdered someone on stage.
I
Yeah.
think he's supposed to. It was a huge overreaction. It was a huge overreaction, and I think people are also upset at the fact that he can do that, and no one else in any other situation could do that, which just completely. It just shows how much privilege he has, which people are kind of upset about. Like if you're at a comedy show and the comedian pisses you off, and you're sitting in the front row and you come up and hit him, you're going to jail. Like you're at the very least you're going to be escorted out of the building immediately. But yeah, then like I think people are
18.
upset at like the fact that that happened and he was allowed to stay, and then he was not only allowed to stay, he came up and gave his speech about being a symbol of love and being a protective father, and then everyone gave him a standing ovation. Like that part feels crazy. So people obviously are like upset about like Hollywood being kind of like
Yeah, I mean it's
fucked up like that.
it's also so I mean I think there's a couple parts to it. Like it's not a comedy club. It's the Oscars, right? It's like an award ceremony. And I guess like people were saying that is a normal thing to like rip on people, but I can get why like Will Smith's upset if you know, like his wife actually was super offended at the joke. But yeah, I mean, walking up and slapping him is for sure an overreaction.
But the joke was so tame. People get made up fun of for being bald
Yeah,
all
I mean,
the time.
don't get me wrong. If someone said some shit about me like that, I wouldn't be offended by it. But I also understand there's like a lot of fucking people that get offended super easily.
Mm.
So like I could see why she'd get offended by it if she's like super self-conscious about losing her hair. But it's also just weird. Like there's a lot of context involved, right? Like the whole fucking Jada Smith having like an entanglement and just all that weird content coming out around their like marriage problems and
Yeah,
whatever. I don't know.
that part is their relationship is totally fucked. I think Will Smith went from like people can sympathize with the fact that he is like in a fucked up relationship with like a gaslighter and like a pretty manipulative sounding person, but also like I think it's justified to shit on someone for losing control and like doing something like that. Even if he had just my like initial thought on it afterwards was like, even if he had just done the thing where he yells in the middle of the Oscars, in the middle of this like roast session where the fucking host is like going from first, you know, pair to pair to pair to pair and like cracking a joke at someone's expense. If he had just said, "Keep my name out of your fucking mouth," and interrupted the ceremony like that, that still would have been over the line. Like that would have already been crazy. And I think like the violence part is definitely way too crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Luca says even Dardoch and Loco didn't fist fight.
I mean, the context being that it is roast time. Like, it makes no sense to fucking go up and shit on someone for roasting. It's literally like part of it.
To me, it just feels like Jada and Will Smith have like the most fucking awful relationship from everything I've heard about it. Like,
yes, I agree.
It seems so fucking bad for. I mean, it definitely for Will Smith. I don't know how it is for Jada. Like, just from the outside, it seems like Will Smith has been mind controlled hardcore, but I don't know. It just seems fucking awful. I don't really understand it. Why you stay in something like that.
I totally agree. I think Will Smith needs to get like the fucking. Did you watch the you referenced the entanglement thing? That shit is so crazy. Like that's like textbook manipulation, where like she cheated on him, but she doesn't want to use the word cheat, so she uses like entanglement to just like word salad.
She like fucking invents a word.
Yeah, she invents a word because she doesn't. She'll never admit that she like fucked up or hurt him or cheated on him. She's just like trying to justify it with like weird word usage. It's so crazy.
It's actually, in my mind, it's the definition of crazy when you lose touch with reality, right? And it's like, if I guarantee you, if Jada Smith saw anyone else in the world in the situation that she's in with her husband, she'd be like, yeah, that's a cheater. But because it's herself and her ego's trying to like protect it, she's like, no, you know, I'm not a bad person. Bad people cheat. And I know I'm not a bad person, so that means I didn't cheat. That means I did something else. Entanglement. Yeah. Fuck it. Like it's that kind of logic.
Because she needed healing, bro. She needed that dick for healing.
Yeah, it's like that kind of shit. It's just I feel like if you're at that point in a relationship where you need to fucking like cheat, the relationship's probably not gonna work out. Yeah, people are. I don't know the details, but like she slept with her son's
24.
friend.
Yeah.
I can't even.
What the fuck?
Well, he was probably hot.
He was hot. His name is like August Alsina or something, and if he's hot as fuck, dude. But it's still so fucked up. There's like a 20+ year age difference. You know, he came out later and said that she emotionally manipulated him, and like he was like depressed after because of the way that she handled their relationship. So she just seems really fucked up all around.
Dude, double lift. You know that thing you're in? The AT&T thing?
Yeah.
Fucking someone reminded me of the thing that happened last year with it in Mortal Kombat. Did you see it?
No, what happened?
It's like, I forget the character's name. I think it's Shiva. It's like the big old like monster with like 4 arms. And she has this move that like goes in the sky and fucking it's unblockable. It goes in the sky and comes down and like I think it's like Kyo or something was literally just only using that move and nobody knew how to counter it.
Oh my god, that's
And
so sad.
apparently there was like drama about it where like he apologized after for fucking
For
spamming.
cheesing? Yo, dude, every fighting game, like the first thing that you learn in fighting games is if it's working, just keep doing it. If you're like spam anything on someone and it's working, just keep doing it. Why would you
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, you're just waiting for the guy to punish you.
Yeah, you're just waiting for him to learn. If they can't learn, then blows.
Literally. That sounds like, I don't know how they got so much drama
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, that's so funny. That'd be like playing a 1v1 in League and being and like you lose 1v1 to a Draven and you're like, this fucking noob, man, all he's doing is auto attacking me over and over again. Like, yeah,
That's
Yeah.
the definition of being a scrub.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is when you
That's so funny.
self-impose extra rules onto the game that don't actually exist.
It's pretty funny
Yeah.
to watch the clip though. It's like 7 stomps in a row.
That's hilarious. It's like
I don't know what to
perfect
do.
over and over. Dude,
Yeah.
fighting games are so miserable if you like don't know how to play. I think of all games that
Yeah.
is fighting games are the steepest learning curve for like
You can get
you
crazy
need to get to a
stomped.
certain level before you can have fun. And I don't think that exists in actually even in League. Legit, even in League, like you can have fun if you're just horrible at the game by like running around with your team.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think that in that way, fighting games will never be mainstream. Also because it's a 1v1 game, and I think
Dude, I think if they keep easing up the access to like learning how to play, I think it can get there in like the right game.
Really? I don't think so at all. Like, they'd have to somehow make it fun to lose in a fighting game, and I just don't see how that's possible.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I've had this argument before. Like, fun to lose isn't really a thing. Like, no one's having fun losing. It's like
Battle
Battle
Royales, you're
I
having
think
fun
Battle Royales, yeah.
99% of the time up until you lose, and then it's done instantly. You go again. You're winning almost the whole
That's
time you're
not-
playing up until you instantly lose.
it's not
fighting
fun
games-
to lose. It's just fun to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
It's a
in a
different
fighting
concept.
game, if you're just getting fisted the whole game, you're not having any fun.
Oh, I mean, well, that's part of what I'm saying. Like the ease of access of learning how to play and like the mechanics required. For example, like I don't know if you guys have heard of this game, King of Fighters. I started playing it recently. I'd never heard of the series before until recently, but it's so fucking hard to execute a basic combo in that game that it's like really demoralizing comparatively to any other fighting game I've played so far. And I just think that's really bad for any type of game, really. Like you need to have a really easy to access entrance into the game to like let people learn. And I think some games have done it well. Like Dragon Ball has done it really well. It's like it's very easy to understand how to, get into the game.
Yeah, I think that helps for sure. I'm curious how the Riot MMO or not MMO, their Riot fighting game is going to be, because Riot's had a pretty good track record so far of like branching out to different genres.
Yeah.
So maybe that could work, but I still think it's going to be hard for it to be too mainstream in a fighting game, just because, like, when I say losing or whatever, I mean in a fighting game, if you're playing against someone who's just better than you, like,
Yeah.
you're really not going to have a good time. Whereas in other games, like even League, if you're laning against someone better than you, there's at least parts of the game where you're like farming minions and like buying items, and there are still some dopamine hits you're getting. Whereas in a fighting game, there's nothing. You're just getting pounded.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty big deterrent. Like, I don't really like fighting games for that reason, because I
You
don't
ever
want to.
tried to play them?
I mean, casually, but
I've
Not
never
really my
really
thing.
tried until recently, and they're very intense. They're pretty fun. You should try
Yeah,
it one day.
my fingers sweat harder in fighting games than like almost any other game.
Dude, my
It's
body,
fucking
my
hilarious.
It's just not
body
what I enjoy.
sweats. It's actually insane.
Yeah. It's fine. I don't think fighting games are for everyone, but like I think just kind of like what we're talking about how they can be like so fun is like the barrier to entry for them is so fucked up that most people won't even really give it like what I would consider a fair shot, because you do have to get to a certain point. Just like in League, you have to get to a point where you understand like Q, W, E, R. Those are your abilities. Like you have 2 summoner spells. Your champion, like there's gold. You need to build items depending on like what champion you're playing. You build certain items, And like once all that stuff finally fits together, then you can like start playing the game. In fighting games, like that same concept in League you can learn in 30 minutes. And in fighting games, that like the fundamentals of the game you're gonna learn in like fucking 3 hours, which really sucks. It really sucks because I think yeah, it's just not good to be a widely accepted game genre. But also, I just don't think it's fun to get your ass kicked 1v1. Most people, after they get their ass kicked 1v1 enough times, they're just not gonna play anymore.
Yeah.
That's why
Definitely.
team-based PvP feels like the best. You know, team-based battle royale. No one plays solos. People play with their team. Valorant, Cisco, League. Team-based PvP is where it's at because you can always blame your teammates to protect your ego.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely part of it for some people. I think it also just appeals to people who like playing things socially. Like I know a lot of people who they don't really actually care about winning or losing. They just like playing with their friends.
True.
Yeah.
Dude, if you think about it, like say you're a normal person who works like a 9 to 5 or like even more just to fucking survive. You like come home, you want to like spend a couple hours playing a game just to relax. You're never queuing up a fucking fighting game unless you just grew up on them.
I mean, if you
It's like, yeah, you know, I just had a horrible day working this shitty job. I want to get fucked by somebody who plays this game too much.
Well, I mean, you're not gonna get fucked if you know what you're doing. Then it's like competitive.
Like in fighting games, there's matchmaking based on character. So it's like you have like 90 Smurf accounts, or like not 90. You have like 20 Smurf accounts based on how many characters are in the game, and you can like load up on a character that you suck at, like that you hardly played, and play like a noob against other noobs and just have fun. I think I don't know. I think fighting games are not. There's not that much skill disparity. Like I played fucking I don't know like 50 games Street Fighter 5 matchmaking, and only like 2 of those 50 games did I play against someone who was like so much better than me. I had almost no chance of winning.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you guys have obviously played more than I have, so probably a better read on it. But I guess I'm talking about like getting into the game from not playing it.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I was
hard, it's
saying.
hard.
Because I think
That's the
everyone
saying,
when they're
yeah.
starting is going to be getting shit on.
Literally,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was describing. It's like if they can make that entry way easier to
Better.
get into, then I think fighting games can be very fun for like a lot of people. But
Every single
it's so
game
hard
company's-
on most of them.
Yeah. Every single game company is trying to figure out how to improve their new player experience. Like, I don't know what the secret sauce for League really was, but it became like so big. And then I like play a game like Apex, and I know the game is good. I can tell the game is objectively, it's really well made. But because I'm just not willing to go through the pain of like learning and losing and being shit and being a scrub, I'm probably not gonna play Apex, right? I'm just not interested. But
16.
I don't really know what it is.
I was playing a bit. I played some ranked recently. Got to like
That's actually a big reason
Gold.
why I think stuff like I actually think Smash Bros playing with items on is like super fun to do with friends. That's my favorite way to play because like I get that you're never proving you're better than the other person with items, but it's just a way to kind of like level the playing field. You know, sometimes you just get a fucking hammer and you run around killing everyone, and like that's fun if you suck at the game.
Smash is
But
really
you
cool.
get to win sometimes. It's kind of the idea of like, you know, luck-based games like card games, fucking auto battlers.
Yeah,
You get to win sometimes. And I mean, the price is, yeah, you'll lose to people you're better than too on the flip side of it. But I don't know. I think it's for most people who aren't trying to be like the #1 competitor player at a game, that's fine.
Smash is
Yeah,
a really
definitely-
good concept. Yeah, I like that a lot.
it needs a good luck ratio for sure. Because when the better player always wins, then you get chess. And that's not really fun because anytime you play against someone who's slightly better, their win rate will be 95% against you. And like, yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair. The better player wins. But on the flip side, like playing poker with your friends, the best player is not always going to take everyone's money at the end of the night because there's luck element. And I think games definitely need luck. How much luck? I don't know. With League in the beginning, there was fucking dodge runes and like Ninja Tab would give you like 12%
That
chance
stuff's
to dodge
so
autos.
bad.
Yeah, like maybe like toning down the luck or increasing it, increasing the RNG can like completely change your experience. But
Every game needs a 1% crit rune.
it
No,
it does.
there's
No.
good and bad ways to go about luck. There are good and bad ways to go about it.
Yeah. Do you guys know about Dota? Like Dota has an easy mode. Like the normal mode is called all pick, AP, and then like if
They
you
still have that in
want to
Dota
play more
2?
casual, huh?
Do they still have that in Dota 2?
Yeah, they do.
I remember
Well,
back in like the Warcraft 3 days.
back in the day.
I only played easy mode on like the Warcraft 2
Same.
one.
I played all random easy mode because I didn't know what any of the heroes or items did.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
god,
just sent it.
it's called Turbo. It's called Turbo now, not easy
Called
mode.
Turbo
But
in Dota 2? Okay.
the game is just accelerated by 2 times. Like you get way more experience, you get way more gold.
Isn't that harder for new players to like control their character and everything is moving so fast?
Yeah, but then they're not locked into this like really sweaty
Huh.
experience. It does remind me a little bit of it reminds me a little bit of like playing Smash with items, and maybe League doesn't want to split their player base like that. They just want to keep the Summoner's Rift experience real pure. Totally understandable, but I think it's interesting that Dota has this other option, which is kind of like almost their version of ARAM, where it's like, fuck it, I want to fuck around, gonna play some turbo games.
Dota 2 easy
Yeah.
mode is called League of Legends.
Right, and-
Ooh, got him.
Dota players are so butthurt about League being a better game. It's funny.
I know they're actually so mad.
And then League just doesn't care about Dota. We're just like, okay. There's that fucking dog barking in the yard.
yeah,
Yeah, I think those casual modes and stuff in League definitely lend itself to it. Because for me, I don't know if I would have gotten into League if there wasn't like normals. I played like a shit ton of normal games just for fun.
Yeah.
And just like accidentally learned how to play the game. I wasn't really coming in with the intent of trying to be like a pro player.
True.
But yeah, obviously in fighting games, those modes are a lot harder to make. Where straight up for fun.
back in the day for League, it was called Dominion and Twisted Tree Line, right? And those modes were so unpopular compared to Summoner's Rift that they just decided it's not even worth our fucking development time to keep updating it. We're just gonna discontinue it.
I
Oh,
think it
yeah,
was
was it?
also
Rip Twisted Tree
because
Line.
bots were going crazy in those modes.